Right, it's time for the bottom line, a wrap of the business news of the day. And of course, South Africa gearing up for more labour action. The National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union, NAHAWU, has observed a national day of prayer today to commemorate health workers who lost their lives to COVID-19. According to official figures, around 250 frontline workers have succumbed to the coronavirus pandemic in the country thus far.
Remembering healthcare givers who have died in the line of duty, some of their names were read out.
Ngoveni MS, professional nurse who was working in obstetrics. I've got Mapanya C, professional nurse from obstetrics.
NAHAWU blames the employer for their deaths.
In the public health institution, this shocking toll of fatalities of the frontline workers has been a catastrophe, accident waiting to happen. That's why it's not a surprise that about 3/4 of the fatalities are in the public health institutions.
Government committed itself to improving the working conditions of healthcare workers.
We commit to make sure that we provide personal protective equipment, PPE, to all workers so that they can be able to play the part to which they've committed their lives to serve humanity and to protect lives.
COSATU General Secretary Bheki Njalinjali was also there to lend his support.
To you NAHAWU members, your hardest times often lead to great moments of your life, and you must just keep going. Tough decisions build strong people.
On Thursday, NAHAWU will hold marches to the union buildings and premier's offices around the country to protest against the shortage of protective clothing for healthcare workers in the country. Mbongeni Mucho, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Now, financial watchers are clinging to signs of a recovery in the economy. There are signs of an improvement in the manufacturing sector as lockdown restrictions have been eased. The ABSA Purchasing Managers Index, which gauges the health of factories across the country, improved further to 57.3 index points in August. That's from around 51 in July. Anything above a neutral 50 index on the index indicates expansion, whilst a number below indicates contraction. The business activity and new sales orders indices rose in August. ABSA says the improvement is on the back of eased restrictions, allowing for more business activity. The improvement is also due to an uptick in demand locally, as well as a rise in export orders. Purchasing managers have turned notably more optimistic about future business conditions over the next 18 months. The employment index, however, remains way below the neutral 50 mark, suggesting manufacturers continue to shed jobs, although at a slower pace.
There was a really strong increase in new sales orders in the month, and manufacturers telling us that that increase is really coming not only from domestic demand, but also from new export sales. And I think that's really encouraging. It suggests that perhaps the shift to level 2 lockdown restrictions has unlocked some additional demand for the sector from some other sectors that may have been previously closed. The second factor that I think is also kind of related to the first one is that there was a very strong improvement in production as well. In the month, you see that in the business activity sub-index, which improved quite robustly in August. Third point, I think, with bringing out, and this is a slightly downbeat point, is that when you look at the employment sub-index, there was a little bit of an improvement in August, but it was just to 39, and the level of 39 still suggests that when it comes to the jobs issue in manufacturing, right now, we're still seeing sort of significant downward pressure coming through, which I think certainly doesn't bode well for employment prospects in the sector.
All right, let's look at your main financial indicators, including the currency. And I can tell you that the rand strengthened again. It's been on quite a run for a few days. A lot of this about interest rates seemingly to remain at lower levels for longer in the United States. That makes South Africa more attractive with our higher interest rates. And also some analysts attributing the rally on the rand today to the calm seemingly in the ANC. There were reports of huge tensions tensions at a big meeting over the weekend, but seemingly the party rallying behind the president and his anti-corruption stance. Let's take a look at those indicators.
Right, let's get you some sports news. Kaizer Chiefs coach